An average drone propeller can spin at over 8,000 revolutions per minute. To put that into perspective, the fastest land animal in the entire world, the cheetah, is not even close. It is so fast that if you put your thumb in between the revolving blades, it will be sure to be cut off in a fraction of a second. But beyond that sheer power, drones are small and lightweight, often weighing around 1 kilogram or so, making them highly effective tools for military operations. Heavier drones are used to conduct precise strikes, striking explosives into targets, capturing enemy soldiers with minimum casualties. Drones are praised for their abilities to kill, to sneak behind enemy lines, low cost, and high speed. Drones can incinerate whole columns of tanks, destroy large forests, and wipe out entire cities. In essence, drones are changing the course of the battlefield. They are becoming the determining factor of how wars are fought. And so many people believe that the sole purpose of a drone is to become a weapon of war, a weapon of destruction. And for me, as somebody who was born into a digital age that only sees power, I saw drones being scrutinized and condemned. I believe that drones are weapons no matter their size or price. And it took me a long time to realize that, to break through that initial rigid perspective. And my journey to do so would reveal the main idea that I'm going to tell you guys in this speech, the evanescence of technology. The drone itself, rigid, metallic, fast, is inherently fleeting. As newer and newer models or technologies came out into the market every single year, drones are designed to be replaced, to become obsolete for other drones and other technologies to put into its place. And so I gained this experience firsthand, joining Drone Flying Club 2 years ago. And from that point onwards, I trained hours, weeks, and months, training my eyes and my hands to use the drone as an extension of my will. Flying up higher and higher, I saw the world in a much more beautiful perspective. Trees, clouds, the school's rooftop, and students below playing basketball. It's just something so beautiful to see. And I gained this unprecedented sense of fulfillment and excitement. But at that moment, I asked myself one question. What permanent good can we extract from drones before they become old and obsolete? And so I gained this answer after that drone training, when I realized that many Gen Zs today are utilizing tech to empower scientific, medical, and relief efforts, carving out their marks in the world. And here are 3 astonishing ways of how they did so. Drones can be used to tackle climate change. The most apparent and disheartening evidence of our world warming up is the evanescence of ice. Glaciers are melting. Sea ice is thinning. We cannot simply send a team of scientists to measure the changing of ice because we cannot risk putting them into hostile, freezing conditions and that they might face death. And if we cannot get these data, we cannot prevent polar bear cubs, baby penguins, and baby seals from losing their homes, drifting away from their mothers at an early age to be thrown into the deep unknown of the sea. But fortunately, a drone is able to help with this situation. On October 13th, 2023, a team of scientists from the University of Southampton decided to use a drone to deploy climate change monitoring sensors onto glaciers in Iceland. By doing so, they are the first people to measure the changing of ice, the movements of glaciers, as glaciers are impossible for humans to reach. And these newly insights and data also help scientists to detect sea level changes, migration patterns, and food sources from animals living in the region, essentially giving threatened species like polar bears, penguins, and seals a chance to fight against this rapidly changing climate. Drones can also help us with agriculture. Meet Chad Mooney, a typical normal farmer on Prince Edward Island, Canada, with a little twist. You see, a normal farmer spends his entire life bent over his fields, carrying heavy cans of fertilizers and spraying pesticides under the scorching sun. His life, like hundreds and thousands of farmers worldwide, is defined by grueling labor, failing harvests, lacking both yield and quality. And it's just a hard, a tough, and a seemingly impossible system where farmers struggle to see the fruits of their own labor. But drones are a game changer. Chad is using his drones, is revolutionizing the drone technology through changing the entire game of planting. In winter, the soil, the ground gets really tough, and so heavy tractors cannot plant the seeds on frozen grounds. Chad's drone, however, is able to plant seeds as early as March, where other farmers have to wait for 1 whole month until April to start their agricultural year. With time on his side, Chad is able to save time and use that time to effectively manage his crops. And something that really stuns me is how these drones are able to fertilize plants with mind-blowing precision. This incredible accuracy helps to reduce chemical runoff as well as pollution, which is a massive W for the local environment. And with such change in place, farmers now have time on their own to focus on much more important things, such as helping their children with homework, enjoy some good music, and have some fun with their neighbors. Drones are not only about efficiency, it's about reclaiming the dignity of farmers. We are bringing them back their happiness, their meaningful in life. And on the most emotional application of drones, they fight disasters, they fight natural disasters, and it's something that directly impacts us. This idea crystallized with me 3 weeks ago on September 2025 when a series of typhoons hit coastal Vietnam. Villages were isolated. Houses fell down. And people had to go to refuge in other places of the country. Everything went into darkness. And so at that moment, when I tried to go to YouTube and look at the news feeds, trying to keep track of what's going on in the country, I immediately saw this. A drone flying up into a turbulent sky. These drones, in their war for humanity, is not carrying any explosives, any armaments specifically designed to harm humans. They carry food rations, and they carry medical supplies. These supplies are eventually put into the hands of stranded families inside those isolated villages. From my perspective, looking through a small screen in Singapore, 1,000 miles away from my country, I feel emotional. And that's when I also realized that whenever I look at the drone in terms of a natural disaster, when I saw them, I knew that another family was going to live for another day. Technology is personal. And so when I look at the applications of drones, them being used for climate change, them using for agriculture, and them using for disaster reliefs, I realized that drones are actually really versatile. They're used to help polar bears, seals, penguins. They are used to help farmers with efficiency and reclaiming their dignity. And they are used to tackle natural disasters. While drones are versatile, they're not forever. Drones will get broken down. They will become obsolete. Their batteries will die out. And one day in the near future, drone will turn into scrap, deprived of both value and significance. But then, drones have etched itself into the history books. The drone will be remembered for saving countless of endangered species. They will be remembered for reclaiming back the dignity of farmers. And they are remembered for helping humans in their darkest hours. There's this one quote that I really love. Through every innovation is designed for transience. It plants seeds of change in the human experience that stubbornly refuse to die. Technology may not be forever, but their impacts will determine what we do and who we are in the next chapters of our lives. Once, I thought that drones are cold instruments of destruction. But now, I realize that drones are the reflections of our best selves. They are the tools specifically designed for us to cultivate social change around the world. And throughout my experience in Drone Flying Club, I realized that we should not look at drone by its cover, by its rigid design, but on its impact on the world and how it could help humans for the better. As students ourselves, we can determine if 8,000 revolutions per minute would burn the world down or lift it up. And I believe that we should commit to find the permanent good in every technology in order to lift the world up and make it a much better place. Thank you for listening.